Boys and girls, Mrs. Hanson here. Now we are going to finish up with our math lesson. So this is our last math lesson we are going to have. So you guys are going to need your My Math book, pencil, and crayons. So in your My Math book, you guys are going to be doing page 705. Mrs. Hanson lost it. This is 706, 707, and 708. And we've been talking about four 3D shapes, right? We have our cube, our cone, our sphere, and our cylinder. So these are the four shapes we're going to be talking about. And we're going to be comparing them. So how are we going to compare them? We are going to compare to see if they can be stacked, if they roll, or if they slide. So there's three different things our shapes could be doing. So we have to be looking at these shapes and trying to figure out what they do. So what shapes can roll? Our sphere is super rolly. Remember it rolled off Mrs. Hanson's hand yesterday? So the sphere rolls. Cylinder rolls. Cone, even though it's not going to roll like perfect, it still rolls, right? These three roll. Our cone, our sphere, and our cylinder roll. Now, what shapes slide? So, I'm going to tell you, the sphere cannot slide. The sphere can only roll. But our cube can slide, right? So if you had a flat surface, let me find a flat surface. We could slide it, right? We could slide this across. If we tried to slide our sphere, it's going to roll. So our cube slides, our cylinder slides, and our cone slides. Next, what about stacking? Can we stack a cube on top of a cube? Yeah, so a cube stacks. What about a cylinder? Can we have a cylinder and stack another cylinder? Yes, so our cylinders stack. What about a sphere? Can we have a sphere? No. What about a cone? Can we stack another cone on top? No. What about, can we stack a cone on top of a cylinder? Yes. So even though it can't stack on the same shape, it can stack on other shapes, right? So these three stack: cylinder, cone, and cube. So what ones can have other shapes stacked on them? We could have a cylinder, or a cube can have other shapes stacked on them. You can't stack anything on top of a cone, right? No. Can you stack anything on top of a sphere? No. So these two are the only ones that can have other shapes stacked on them. So now let's get to work on our paper. So on the front of 705, this is what I want you to do. Because we don't really, I mean, you guys can do the same thing just at your house because it talks about it in the classroom. So we are going to compare solid shapes. I already showed you which ones roll, slide, and can have another shape stacked on them. Name the object that in the classroom that rolls, slides, or stacks the same as one of the solid shapes, and then draw the object. So, what shape? We're going to draw the shapes that stack. So we are only drawing shapes that stack. Mrs. Hanson's making up her own rules for the front. So what shapes stack? A cube stack. So we're going to draw the best we can a cube. And Mrs. Hanson's cube isn't perfect, but not too shabby. What else is another shape we can stack? A cylinder. So then I want you to draw a cylinder on the front. And then we have one more that we can stack, but it has to be stacked on something else, remember? And that was our cone. So then I want you to draw your cone. So those are my 3D shapes. I have a cylinder, a cube, a cylinder, and a cone. So those are the 3 that we can stack. All right, so now we're going to turn to the back and we have some examples. Roll. So these 3 shapes can roll: cone, sphere, cylinder. And now it wants you to trace that line showing that it can roll. And the next 2 that we have that can stack on top of one another is a cube and a cylinder. And then it wants you to trace that dotted line. So we have this line traced and then this line traced. And the last one we have slide, which is we can have our cylinder slide, our cone slide, and our cube slide. So then I want you to trace that line on the bottom. Okay, so now directions for 4 and 5. 4, identify the shape. So what are these shapes? The can. So what shape is that? And then describe it. Circle the other shape or shapes in that row that can stack. So we're looking at these. Which ones of these shapes can you stack and circle them? Last, we have a tennis ball. What shape is that? Describe it and then circle the other shapes in that row that can stack. So we're only looking at the ones that can stack, even though that's a sphere. Can we stack a sphere? But which ones can you stack and circle them? Okay, next page. We have 707. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about objects that slide. So what shape is this present? Which ones of these can slide? Remember, they have to have a flat or straight side. So which ones can slide? Circle that one, or circle those. Identify this object. What shape is this? This is like a canister that you can put like cookies or something in. And then this row, which ones can roll? Not slide, just roll. Circle those. Number 8, draw an object that would roll as a cylinder rolls. So what would be an object that you could draw here that's just like a cylinder and would roll? Next one, number 9, draw the object that would stack like the cubes are stacked. So it wants you to make another object just like those cubes that you can stack. Then we have our very back. So we have our 4 shapes we've been talking about. Look at the shapes on the carpet. Find a shape that rolls, stacks, and slides. So what shape does all 3? You need to look at this paper. It tells you at the top up here. So color that shape orange, the one that rolls, stacks, and slides. The next one, find the shape that only slides and rolls and cannot have a shape stacked on it. So it can stack, but something can't be stacked on it. You're going to color that one purple. Next one, find a shape that only slides and stacks. So it only slides and stacks. Color that one yellow. Find a shape that only rolls and color that one blue. All right, you guys. So you got your little cheat sheet up here to help you with your coloring. And after that, you guys are all finished. with your 3D shapes. There's lots more to learn. There's a little bit more in the book that you guys can do. But that's what we are going to finish with our last math lesson for kindergarten. So I will talk to you guys all soon. Bye, guys.